story of Rishabh Dev. Okay, so let's start the story of Rishabh Dev. Okay, all right, let me share my screen. Before I start, if I change the timing to 9 a.m., would that work for everybody instead of 9:15? Would that work? Anybody who's this time 9 a.m. would not work for you? Everybody 9 a.m. It's just 15 minutes early. We'll do 9 to 10 a.m. It will work for everybody.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So next week we will do that. Okay. So let's go back. Let's do the revision of Rishabh Dev. What did we study so far? Because it will. Okay. Are you guys able to see the screen? No, right? Let me share my screen. Can you see the screen now? Yes. Okay. So the last time we have discussing, remember the story, like we will go back to his ancestors, Rishabh Dev's ancestors, right? Swambhu Manu. Who was Swambhu Manu? Who is Swambhu Manu? Can anybody tell me who is Swambhu Manu? No idea? Swambhu Manu is the son of who? Yes, Gauri. Brahma, Lord Brahma. So he had two sons we were discussing. Uttanapad and Priyavarta. Remember? In the Uttanapad, we had the whole thing where we had great kings like, who was Uttanapad's son? Who was Uttanapad's son? We discussed this. Okay, Gauri knows. Okay, Narsimha knows. Anybody else knows? Ishan, who was Uttanapad's son? Dhruv Maharaj. So we have discussed this story of the lineage of Uttanapad, right? In that dynasty came Dhruv Maharaj, in that dynasty came Prithu Maharaj, Anga, the Prachetas. We discussed all this, right? Now, the son of the Prachetas was Daksha. Remember Daksha, right? So the son of the Prachetas was Daksha, and Daksha didn't want to rule the kingdom, right? Daksha didn't want to rule the kingdom. He said, I don't want to rule the kingdom. I just want to serve the Lord. I'll go to the forest. So who will rule the earthly kingdom? This is where Swayambhu Manu became concerned. Who is going to rule the kingdom of the earth? So he came to see the other son of Manu, who was, what was the other name of the son of Manu? We just discussed this. Two sons, Uttanapad, and the other son's name starts with P. Yes, Narsimadev.
Priyavrata.
Priyavrata, right? So Priyavrata also was like, he was not interested in kingdom and all this household life. He just wanted to serve the Lord. And at that time, he was in the forest. He didn't have any desire to marry, become a king. He had taken Narad Muni as a spiritual master, and he just wanted to serve Lord Krishna. So when Swambhu Manu approached him and said, can you please become the king? He had no desire. He didn't want to become the king. He didn't want to marry. He just wanted to serve the Supreme Lord. Because he thought, if I become the king, I'll be engaged in so many the duties, and then I will forget Krishna. I will not worship him as I'm right now alone, and I have all the time in the world to just worship Lord Krishna. He didn't want to do that. But Swambhu Manu was saying, yeah, your brother's dynasty has ruled so far for so many years. Now we do not have a king. I want you to become the king. Can you please become the king? But Priyavarta was hesitant. So Lord Brahma at that time came. Lord Brahma came in his vehicle. What is his vehicle? Lord Brahma's carrier? Who knows? Who knows what is Lord Brahma's carrier? Lakshay?
A swan.
A swan. So when he was coming down from a Brahma Lok, right? The Brahma Lok, the planet where Brahmaji lives in, is the topmost planet in the material universe. So all the residents of the other upper planetary systems paid obeisances, and everybody came out and paid obeisances to him. So when he came down to the earthly kingdom, he came down with many sages and many demigods. And when Swayambhu Manu, who was there, and Narad Muni, who was there, along with Priyavarta, they all got up and profusely praised, glorified Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma started thinking. He looked at Priyavarta and started thinking, oh, Priyavarta, I'm your grandfather. You don't want to become the king, but if the Lord wants you to do something, you have to do it. You don't want to become the king. It is your stubbornness. You're stubborn. And to make you the king is my stubbornness. Right? You are stubborn that you don't want to become the king, and I am stubborn that I will make you the king. Let us see who will win. Right? He did not say that aloud to Priyavarta, who is his grandson. He was just thinking like that. Right? And this is a joking competition between a grandfather and a son. Sometimes your father will say, right? Oh, Ishan, you don't want to do this, but I will make you do this. That's a joking competition. Right? So that was the competition going on jokingly, that Brahma wanted Priyavrata to become the king. Right? And so then Brahmaji said to Priyavrata, saying, if the Lord desires something, then it will happen. You might do anything, but if the Lord desires something, then it will, of course, happen. Everybody, including Lord Shiva, Manu, Narad, everybody should carry out the instructions of the Supreme Lord. And whatever the Lord desires, we should accept it with faith, because our well-being, he's our greatest well-wisher, in Bhagavad Gita says, right? He's the acceptor of all the sacrifices. He's our greatest friend. Krishna is our biggest friend. He wants the best for us. Right? Remember, Arjun didn't want to fight in the Mahabharata war. Then Krishna told him to fight, and then he accepted to fight. So was it a good decision by Arjun to listen to Krishna? Yes. So, and then Brahmaji said, do not think that if you become a king and you marry and you take up all these duties, that you will forget Krishna. Just keep your mind focused on Krishna. You keep Krishna in the center, but then you also manage your kingdom. You manage it nicely, and you will never forget Krishna. If you seek the shelter, the lotus feet of Krishna, and you do your duty, you will never deviate from bhakti. Right? So Krishna is not telling that, oh, if you love me, then Meera, go to the forest and do meditation. He's not telling that. Meera can do her studies at the same time, do devotional service. Krishna is not telling Lakshay, stop your studies, just read Bhagavatam all the time. He's not saying that. Whatever you're doing, whatever is your duty, you do that and offer to Krishna. At the same time, you can take some time out to read Bhagavatam, to chant, to hear classes. So Krishna is saying you have to do your duty. Does that make sense, Ishan? What was the instruction? What was the instruction Brahma gave to Priyavarta?
Rule the kingdom.
To rule the kingdom and never deviate from bhakti. So Priyavarta then bowed down to Brahmaji and he said, agreed, okay, I will rule the kingdom. So sometimes you should listen, most of the times, all the time, you should listen to your elders. If your elders are saying something to you, your parents are saying something to you, They want the best for you. Sometimes the kids think, oh, what do my parents know? They don't know nothing. They're not of this age. They don't know about the Rocket League or Xbox. What do they know? Why should we listen to them? But your parents know the best for you. Some years ago, they were a child. They lived longer than you. So they know you. So just like Priyavarta listened to Brahmaji, the kids also should listen to their parents and elders. They want the best. Who does not agree with that? Should we listen to our elders or no? Who does not agree with this? Anybody here who does not agree? Okay. So everybody agrees. So that means next time we meet, everybody will be listening to their parents. Yes? Okay.
Can you turn the page?
Okay, let's turn the page. Yeah, so so Priyavarta agreed to the rule earth, right? So he ruled the kingdom very nicely. He was taking up all the responsibilities, but he never forgot to worship Lord Krishna. One time he was not satisfied with the movements of the sun. Like the sun goes around, the sun goes in the chariot, and we can see the sun only for the 12 hours of the day, and then it becomes night. So he was not satisfied. And Priyavarta was a great person in his way that he had spiritual powers. So he expanded into two forms. One is the king, and one is the son, the other son. So when the other sun was not being visible, he became visible as the sun. So there was no night. Every time there was the whole day. To so why did he do that? Because he wanted to give happiness to the citizens, saying in the winter months, the mornings and the evenings are very cold because the sun is not so sunny. So he became sunnier during that time so that the people would not feel cold. And during the summer months, he became cooler, not so hot. So as his chariot was moving, right? The Priyavarta, like we know that the sun moves in a chariot, right, with the horses. So Priyavarta was also moving in a chariot, and when he was moving, he created seven. Like, have you seen, what do you call what Balaramji carries? The plow. When you plow that, put the plow in the soil, right? It makes a mark, right? That's called the furrow. That's what the name of Sita means. When you have you seen the bullock carrying the plow and it makes a mark in the soil? Similarly, when the chariots were going around the sun, they made seven ditches. Seven ditches, right? Seven impressions. And they became the seven great oceans of the earthly plane. The first one was the ocean of salt, right? Ocean of water, salty water, right? That's what we have the oceans. The other oceans became ocean of sugarcane juice, or ocean of milk, ocean of alcohol, ocean of honey, the seven oceans. And between these oceans became the great seven islands. And Jambu Deep became the central island, right? So this is how all these things were created. So Priyavarta had he ruled this earth for thousands of years. After that, he said, I want to retire. He had 13 sons. So he made seven of his 13 sons the rulers of the seven islands. Three of his other sons became brahmacharis. They wanted to just sacrifice their life for Krishna consciousness. And the other three sons, seven plus three became brahmacharis, seven became the rulers of the seven king islands, and the three became manus in other in the future. And so Priyavarta spent of the rest of his life worshipping Lord Krishna, and this is like his Narad Muni, his teacher, spiritual teacher, had taught him so many things. So that's how he lived his life. And finally, he attained the kingdom of God. So this was about Priyavarta, right? Uh, any questions so far, right? This is all the seven uh, islands, right? And the seven oceans. And so this is what was created by Priyavarta. And then what happens? So Priyavarta had 13 sons, we discussed, right? So his first son's name was Agnidhara. Again, listen carefully because this will be a blocked question. Priyavarta's first son's name was Agnidhara. And Agnidhara ruled the island called Jambudweep. Remember, we had said that there are 7 islands. He ruled the Jambudweep Islands, the middlemost island in the Bhumandala, in the earthly plane, in the earthly realm. The Jambudweep is the middlemost island, and he ruled that. So he protected the citizens just like his own children, and he wanted a very good son. So Brahmaji, and he meditated and worshipped Lord Brahmaji. Brahmaji then sent a beautiful woman. Her name was Purvachitti. So Agnidhara married Purvachitti, and then he got 9 sons. So 9 sons, those 9 sons became 9 kings of the different parts of Jambudweep. So we remember Swayambhu Manu, he had 2 sons, Uttanapad and Priyavarta. Priyavarta now became the king. Priyavarta, after he left, who became he assigned his 13 sons for different things. His first son's name was Agnidhar. Agnidhar married Purvachitti, and from them they had the 9 sons. And with Agnidhar's eldest son's name was Nabhi. What was his name? Nabhi. Again, a blocked question because it will come. Priyavarta, Agnidhar, then Nabhi, because Nabhi is going to be the father of Rishabh Dev. Because that's what we are going to do. Rishabh Dev has not come in the story yet. So, Nabhi ruled Bharat Varsha. Yes, Aditri and Nabhi.
Wait, what was Agni Dara's wife again?
Agnidhar's wife's name was Purva Chitti. I will put the name in the chat. Okay, let me put it in the chat. So, Nabhi was the son of Agnidhar, and he ruled Bharatvarsha, right? The king, the India. He ruled India. And his wife's name was Meru Devi. They wanted a son just like Krishna, just like Vishnu. So they asked some pure Brahmanas, come please do a sacrifice for us. Please, Lord Vishnu. And our request is that we want a son like him. We want a son like Lord Vishnu. So the pure Brahmanas were very, very nice. They did the rituals very nicely. So Lord Vishnu himself appeared. Do you see the picture of Lord Vishnu? He appeared on a Garuda. Garuda is his carrier. He had yellow garments, the silk dhoti, the yellow dhoti. And he was beautifully decorated with garlands. He had Shanka, Chakra, Padma, and Gada, which means Shanka means conch. You see the conch in one of his hands? Padma, the lotus, was in his hand. The mace Gada, and chakra. What is this chakra called? What is the name of the chakra which Vishnu carries? Who can answer that question? Let's see, somebody else who has not spoken so far. What is the name of the chakra which Lord Vishnu carries? Okay, Laksha has spoken, Gauri has spoken. Let's see, let's pick somebody else. Shlok, can you answer the question? Are you able to speak? Okay. Okay, let's see. Sahasra Ashrita?
Vishnu Chakra.
Not the Vishnu. What's the name? It's not Vishnu Chakra. It's a specific name. Let's see. Nimai, do you know? What's the name of the chakra?
I forgot. I'm trying to think.
Okay. Let's see. Shlok, now are you able to hear us? What is the name of the chakra which Lord Vishnu has? Can you hear us, Shlok?
I can hear you. Sudarshan Chakra.
Sudarshan chakra. Very nice. Right? So he's beautifully dressed. He's so effulgent. He has this yellow dhoti. He has a golden crown. His earrings are dazzling. The smell of the garlands is so fragrant. And everybody, they when they saw the Lord, they had tears in their eyes. They're so mesmerized by seeing that the beautiful form of the Lord. And the Brahmana says our lives are now perfect because we have seen you face to face. You're so merciful that even though we did not perform the sacrifice nicely, you've come here in person to bless us. Lord Vishnu, you're so merciful. They praised the Lord, the Brahmanas praised the Lord. And they said, chanting your glorious is so auspicious. And it wipes out all the sins which we might have done. You are so merciful that if your devotees worship you with tulsi, with water, and with prayers, you accept it. Say, they said that even though we did not worship you properly, you've come here. You've we have performed this sacrifice because the king Nabhi wants a son like you. What does Lord Vishnu then say? He says that you guys are all qualified Brahmanas. You did your performance, the sacrifice very nicely. And I will not make your words become untrue because you're my devotees. But nobody is like me. Is anybody like Krishna? Can anybody become Krishna? Can anybody become Vishnu? So he says, nobody's like me. So I will personally come as the son of Nabhi, King Nabhi, and Meru Devi. I will appear as the son of Nabhi. So Lord Vishnu appeared. See, next slide. Lord Vishnu appeared as the son of Nabhi and Meru Devi. So now let's look at the lineage. Manu, Swambhu Manu had two sons, Uttanapad, Priyavarta. Uttanapad we went through with the lineage, King Dhruva, and then we studied about Anga, Vena, Prithu Maharaj. We discussed about the Prachetas, and then Daksha. Daksha didn't want to become the king. So Manu asked Priyavarta to become the king. Priyavarta didn't want to become the king. So then Brahmaji came and asked him to become the king. Priyavarta then became the king. And then he had son called. He had 13 sons, but the eldest was Agnidhar, right? Agnidhar's wife was Purvachitti. They had the son Nabhi, and Nabhi married Meru Devi, and they had the son Rishabh Dev. Rishabh Dev means the best among human beings. He's God himself, and he exhibited the symptoms of God when he was born. And King Nabhi was very blissful, so happy that the Lord is so merciful that he's appeared as his son. So he was affectionately raising Rishabh Dev, and then to train him to protect the citizens, Nabhi asked the Brahmanas to train him. Rishabh Dev completed his education in Gurukul, right? And then he gave them Guru Dakshina. What is Guru Dakshina? Can anybody tell me? What is Guru Dakshina? What is Guru Dakshina? This is a famous story about somebody giving their thumb as Guru Dakshina to their teacher. Okay, let's see, Ishan. What is Guru Dakshina?
I don't know what it is, but I can name the person who cut off the thumb.
Who cut off his thumb?
Eklavya,
Why did he cut off his thumb?
because his Guru Maharaj asked for it.
Yes, and who was his Guru Maharaj?
Oh, Dronacharya.
Yes. So Guru Dakshina means Dakshina means donation, right? If somebody is doing something for you, you want to give something in return. If your teacher is teaching you something, you want to give something in return, saying, this is my offering to you. So Rishabh Dev, even though he's the Supreme Lord, everything comes from him. He is giving Guru Dakshina to his teachers. And the story which Ishan was talking about, there was a good bowman person, a good archer who wanted to learn archery from Dronacharya. But Dronacharya was only teaching the Kshatriyas, the people from the warrior class, the people who were, and this guy was not from the warrior class, Eklavya. So what did Eklavya do? He made the statue of Dronacharya and he learned archery, just saying, paying obeisance to that, saying, you are my guru, that statue of his Gurudev, Dronacharya. Dronacharya was the guru of Pandavas, Arjun, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, and Yudhishthir. He was also the Gurudev of the Kauravas, Duryodhan, Dushashan. So Eklavya wanted the guru like that, who's so perfect. But that guru refused, but he made a statue and he practiced archery in front of that idol, like saying that he's my guru. And then he perfected it so much that one time when a dog was barking, he took his arrows and so many arrows at the same time, the whole mouth of the dog was stuck with arrows, and the dog cannot bark anymore. And Dronacharya was asking, who can do this? Who is so perfect archer? They came to know that this guy is Eklavya. And Eklavya bowed down to his guru and said, yes, you are my guru. I've learned from you, archery from you. Can I give you something in Guru Dakshina? And what did he ask Guru Dronacharya? Can you give me your right thumb? Now, if he gives his right thumb, how will he how will he do the archery? But he was a sincere student. He took a knife, cut his thumb off, offered to his guru. So why did the guru ask for the thumb? Do you know? Does anybody know? Yes, Sahasra Ashrita.
Because then he could not do archery.
Yes, but why didn't he want them to do archery?
Because he was better than the guru.
No, it was not like that. So that Eklavya came from a family who revolted against the government. They didn't want to pay taxes. So if he became a good archer, he can do more revolt and kill the people of the government and didn't pay taxes. So he didn't want to create rebels in the society, that somebody is rebelling against the government and not paying taxes. That's why he asked for the thumb. Okay, now go back to the story of Rishabh Dev, right? Rishabh Dev completed his education. He became very popular among the citizen. He was loved by everybody, like just like Krishna was loved by everybody. Rishabh Dev was loved by everybody. Everybody loved his good qualities, his powers, his strength, his beauty. He was beautiful. His name, his fame, and influence. So eventually, his father, Nabhi, made him the king. Now, Nabhi and his wife, uh, Meru Devi, they went to Badrikashram. I was trying to go to Badrikashram this year, Badrinath. I could not because of the mudslides. It's high in the Himalayas, right? We were going to take a bus and go there. It's the deity of Lord Vishnu there, right? So Nabhi and Meru Devi went to Badrikashram. They worshipped the form of Nara Narayan. Nara Narayan became Krishna and Arjuna in the next life. So Nabhi and Meru Devi went to Badrikashram. They worshipped them, and then they, in the due course of time, they went back to Godhead, back to Vaikuntha. So what did Rishabh Dev do next? Right? Rishabh Dev now is the king. One time, there was no rain. There was no rain. It becomes so dry. Why? Because who is the demigod of rain? Who controls rains? Who can tell me?
Indra.
Yes, Jasmita?
Indra.
Indra. Indra became envious. Meera, do you become envious saying, her drawing is better than me, or she is beautiful than me, or she dances better than me, or she has more toys than me? Do you become envious anytime? Meera?
I don't know.
You don't know? Is it a good thing to become envious? So Indra had become envious because Rishabh Dev was so powerful. He was so powerful. He was loved by everybody. He forgot that he's the Supreme Personality himself. He's God himself. Indra had made the similar mistake when? Can you tell me when did he make the similar mistake again previously? Or in the future? Yes. Sahasrashrita.
Govardhan Leela.
During the Govardhan Leela. Right? So, so the Indra had become envious of Rishabh Dev. So he stopped the rains. So what did Rishabh Dev do? He, by his spiritual powers, poured so much rain into Bharatvarsha. Then Indra became, okay, I am not the controller. I am not God. My powers also come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then he said sorry, and he offered a woman called Jayanti to marry Rishabh Dev. And Rishabh Dev married Jayanti. So Rishabh Dev had 100 sons. How many sons? Again, a question which one come and look at. How many sons? 100 sons. And Bharat was the eldest son.
Away.
Okay, I will stop giving away the questions. Bharat was the eldest of the son. And do you know what is the other name of India? What is the other name of India? This Gauri?
Bharat.
Bharat. Bharat gets this name from Bharat Maharaj, who is the son of Rishabh Dev. After the story of Rishabh Dev, we will learn the story of Bharat Maharaj. So from the name of Bharat Maharaj came the name of India, which is called Bharat. In Hindi, we call it Bharat. In Sanskrit, we call it Bharat. So from this Bharat Maharaj, who is the son of Rishabh Dev, got his name. Rishabh Dev had 100 sons. And Rishabh Dev was a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means a warrior class. Not his 100, all his 100 sons did not become Kshatriyas. Right? Some So 81 of the sons became expert Brahmanas. They were very good Brahmanas. They were good with Vedas, right? And 10 sons became Kshatriyas, warrior class, including Bharat Maharaj. And the remaining 9 sons became so much followers of Srimad Bhagavatam. They had so much knowledge. They could go anywhere like Narad Muni, go anywhere without the Veena. Like Narad Muni had the Veena, but they didn't have Veena. They became very great sage called Nava Yogendras, right? So they became, so these were these 100 sons, right? And then Rishabh Dev was very well versed with the Vedas because he's the Supreme Lord. He conducted many sacrifices, many fire sacrifices, and he followed the Vedas. He loved the Brahmanas. He made sure that the Brahmanas were given enough money and charity, and strictly observed all the religious principles. In his time, all the citizens were fully satisfied, fully satisfied. Everybody was happy. Once Lord Rishabh Dev toured a place called, he was going around the whole world, and he reached a place called Brahmavarta. There he gave instructions to his 100 sons. There were many Brahmanas, many sages, many people who came there, and he gave wonderful teachings to his good sons. And he gave those teachings so that we can also learn from those teachings, Rishabh Dev. He said that everybody wants to enjoy something. Ishan, do you get some enjoyment when you play Xbox, Rocket League? Ishan? Ishan, you're muted. Ishan, can you hear me? Ishan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I'm live.
Do you get enjoyment when you play Xbox, Rocket League?
Temporarily.
Barely. So Nimai, what is your favorite activity?
Mine would be video games or something like
Video games.
something.
So do you get some pleasure out of it? You feel happy when you play it?
Yeah, but not really, not all the time.
Not all the time. So this is what Lord Rishabh Dev is saying. All living beings need some enjoyment they need. But you will get the temporary enjoyment when you play things like video games or whatever you like. You'll get temporary enjoyment. The time you're done playing video games, it'll be over. Enjoyment is over. Party over. And he says that human beings have higher consciousness. Can a cat chant Hare Krishna? Can a cat play video games? So this human life is the only life where you have higher consciousness, that you know who is God and how to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. So what Rishabh Dev said in this huge assembly said, by bhakti we can achieve God. By bhakti we can go back to Godhead. And we need the company of devotees. We should be going to Kirtan. We should be associating with devotees. We should, then Rishabh Dev continued that we should worship Lord Vasudev by hearing about him, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, by chanting his names. Then you will not just have temporary enjoyment. You will be happy all the time. You'll be happy all the time. So he's telling his sons, 100 sons, follow your elder brother Bharat Maharaj, and you protect the kingdom, and you always worship the Brahmanas. So Rishabh Dev, in this is way, he instructed all his sons, right? And these sons were cultured, educated, and through his sons, he's instructing us. He told his sons Do not become fathers if you cannot liberate your children. If you cannot make your children Krishna conscious, then don't make children. Don't have children. That is the duty of father and mother, as per Rishabh Dev, that your children should be Krishna conscious. After then, he made Bharat Maharaj as the king. Then he took a vow of silence, saying, I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm just going to be meditating. He was like a madman. He was not speaking anything. He was not dressed properly. He was just completely detached. He had nothing, right? And foolish people thought, like, they forgot that he's the king, because now Bharat Maharaj is the king. He was always absorbed in spiritual consciousness, in Krishna consciousness. Foolish people kicked him, threw stones at him, dust at him, but he did not care. He was always just absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Like when an elephant goes, he doesn't care about the flies on him. He was just like that. He was just like an avadhuta. But he appeared, his body was so effulgent. Even though he was not dressed nicely, his body appeared effulgent because he's the Supreme Lord. It was divine body. Even though he had all the spiritual powers, remember, he made the rains to come. But now he's not using any spiritual powers to protect himself. He wandered all over the earth, and finally, in the last stages, he reached the southern state of Karnataka in India. And yes, Sahasrashrita.
But Rishabh Dev is Krishna.
Yes. So sometimes he's teaching by example that you should be worshipping Krishna. He's teaching by example, like he's behaving that way so that we learn from him. So he entered a forest in the state of Karnataka where there was a big forest fire, and there he left his body, and all the animals and the trees and everybody who were there in that forest, they also went back to Vaikuntha. They also attained liberations because they saw Rishabh Dev. Then how did Rishabh Dev, what happened to Bharat Maharaj? How did he rule the earth? That will be in next class. So it's 10:15 already. We will discuss and we will have a look at next week on Rishabh Dev next week. We will also discuss what are activities we should do, right? And we will just do a quick revision and we'll do the whole look at, and we will do some activities before we move on to the story of Bharat Maharaj. Any questions anybody has? Everybody remembers the class? So it'll be a good thing for you guys? Yes? Everybody remembers? Okay, so nobody has no questions? So next week we will do the quiz, the activities. Govind, it's good to see you in front of the cameras. That's very nice. So just like Govind put his camera on, everybody next time, if they can put their cameras on, that will be nice so that I can see you guys. Okay, so only one exercise one homework I want to give you, right? Remember the Brahmanas who were offering prayers to the Lord Vishnu, saying that seeing you is a rare, and they were so happy to see the Lord. Can you guys try to write something, write a prayer, offering it to the Lord, saying, why do you love the Lord? Why do you love Lord Radha Krishna? What qualities attract? It could be a poetry, it could be just a passage, and we will discuss next time. Can you guys write something for next class? Did you guys understand the homework? Why do you love the Lord? Yes, Gauri, you have a question?
Be able to, because tomorrow I'm going.
That's fine. That's fine. But you still do the homework, right? So when you come back next time, you show it to the homie. So everybody understood the homework? What is the homework? You write something, at least 4 or 5 lines. Why do you love Radha Krishna? What qualities of Radha Krishna attract to you? And what can you do for Radha Krishna? It could be poetry. It could be something in the form of sentences. Yes, everybody understood?
Can you send that in the group chat? Because I can't remember that.
Okay, I will send that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right then. Thank you, kids. Hare Krishna. We'll say our prayers.
Lady Shark.
One.
Can we Shark
Yes.
talk?
Yes. Let's say that.
Can I be the host?
Yes. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So please do your homework, and then yes, Jasvita, you have a question?
Wait, so what did we have to write?